Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is good old MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. We will not have Dee Dee Woodson here with us tonight, but she will probably be back with us on Friday night. Guys, we're just gonna dive right in. You guys know the deal. AEW and NXT here tonight, so we're just gonna jump right off. AEW Dynamite episode 32 was held at, once again, the Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. And when we started it off tonight, we started it off with a segment as it was Lance Archer and Jake Roberts, then was interrupted by Cody Rhodes. And, alright, I mean, I don't mind the storyline, and look, it was good retribution. Obviously, you knew Cody was going to do this. Cody was after Jake Roberts, after Lance Archer, after that snake got to Brandy. You knew the battle lines were drawn. You knew it was about to go down. So, I mean, I want to say the execution could have been a little more better. It was a solid segment. It was a good way to start the show. I just don't know if it really delivered in the way that we were hoping for. I mean, Cody showed the fire. Cody showed the passion. Cody was an angry husband looking for blood. That's what we wanted. But the way they did it, it could have been so much better. Could have been so much better. Anthony, it's yours.
Well, I'll tell you, MF, I disagree. I enjoyed the segment very much. After what Roberts did to Brandy a week ago, any respectable husband would have been looking to dish out an ass kicking this week, and Cody did just that. He took his lumps, but he got the upper hand on Archer just enough for Roberts to realize when it was time to pull his charge out of harm's way and live to fight another day. With one angle last week and a grueling brawl this week, the TNT Championship Tournament Finals took on greater meaning at Double or Nothing. Hopefully, everyone involved can maintain the level of emotion and intensity ahead of and into the match, because it has the potential to be a Match of the Year candidate. A great, energetic, high-intensity way to kick off this week's broadcast of AEW Dynamite. So I'm sorry, MF, I disagree. I enjoyed the segment very much. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, let's get your thoughts on the opening segment of AEW Dynamite.
Mike, we can. Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
All right. I just wanted to. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Loud and clear.
All right. I just wanted to be sure. All right. Yeah. When it comes to this, I mean, I'm sorry. I gotta disagree with you, Fletch. I gotta go with Florio. I thought it was a good segment here. I mean, obviously, you wanted to conserve the energy of these two going into that their TNT Championship match at Double or Nothing. So I know some people said they wanted to see more, but the thing is, like I said, you wanted to. You don't want them to do too much harm to each other. I mean, you want to save it for Double or Nothing. And let's just say now, guys, Cody was thinking retaliation after what that snake did to his wife last week. So to me, I mean, this is more than just about the TNT Championship. This is personal now. I mean, but the thing is, can these two control their emotions going into this TNT Championship final at Double or Nothing? We're just gonna have to wait and find out. So I'm more with Florio. I thought it was a good segment, but but as the old saying goes, everybody has a right to their opinion, and Hey, Fletch. I mean, he has a right to his opinion, so more ups to you, man. I give it to you.
All right, as we head on the first fight of the night, the Best Friends versus Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. When it was all said and done, the Best Friends wins the match in roughly 11 minutes. So Anthony Florio, you lead off.
Yes, indeed. Very good match here. This was nonstop action, as one would expect from the two teams involved, and it made for a fun match. The tag team division in AEW is so stacked at this point that bad or even underwhelming matches are a near impossibility. Best Friends have been building momentum for weeks, positioning themselves for a shot at Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. And with this win, they may have just had a championship committee moment here. They may have earned an AEW Tag Team Championship opportunity. Interference from MJF is true to his character and adds heat for a high-profile pay-per-view bout against Jungle Boy. Ray Phoenix attacking Orange Cassidy probably would have carried more weight with the viewing audience if the Double or Nothing ladder match had been discussed by the commentary team before Phoenix jumped the most over babyface in the company, but it was still not enough to diminish what I felt was the right choice to kick off the in-ring portion of this show here tonight. So, with all this being said, I would probably give this about maybe a 3.5 for the effort. Let
Okay.
me. I just want to check and make sure that's the correct rating I have. More like the between 3 and 3.5. I think that's the correct rating here, between 3 and 3.5. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, big win for the Best Friends. Maybe one step closer to a possible tag team title opportunity down the road.
Yeah, they may have just put themselves one step closer to the a chance at the AEW World Tag Team titles, currently held by Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page. So this was definitely a big win for them. I mean, yes, I mean I could have done without the interference from that stooge MJF. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. I'll give it about maybe 3.5 as well, somewhere between that. So I'll just give it to you, Fletch.
3 stars, solid fight, no doubt about it. I think it could have been a lot more better, but at the end of the day, no complaints from me as well. We're just gonna move right along. A fatal four-way, guys. It was Harushita, Penelope Ford, Dr. Britt Baker, and Chris Statlander. And when it was all said and done, Harushita wins the match in 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Michael Bullock, it is all yours, my friend.
3 stars for me for this match. I mean, I thought this was I'll actually give it maybe 2.5 to 3. I mean, this was a good solid match here. Hiraku Shida, I mean, she continues to build momentum, and I think she's going to be next in line to challenge Nyla Rose for the AEW World title. I think it may go down at Double or Nothing. So obviously she was doing good. I think she was like number 1 in the ranking. So when it comes to contendership, so this the win I think definitely puts her in the running for it. So we'll just have to wait and see. So there's nothing more for me to say. Fletch, I think we got ourselves a number 1 contender.
Well, Michael Bullock, I'll get to that in just a moment. 2.5 stars for me. Look, it was good in some moments, but there was a lot of clunkiness. I thought it could have been a lot more better. I mean, AEW, the weakest division is their women's division. I think we all can agree with that. It is their weakest division in all of AEW. But the women did put a decent effort. I think they did a good job. I'm not going to harp on it or be very... I don't want to be completely down on them because I thought they did really well. For Harushita, she now is the number 1 contender. She will fight for the AEW Women's World Title against Nyla Rose at Double or Nothing. It was confirmed tonight. She will fight for Nyla Rose at that title. We'll get into that match when we get into the preview in a couple of weeks. But She is confirmed as #1 contender, so nothing more to say. Anthony, it is yours.
That preview will be a week from Friday on the Cerebral Smack Talk on May 22nd. But for right now, this was a 3-star match. I agree with Bullock on this one. Things kind of broke down late in this one, and the Poison Rana by Penelope Ford was a bit scary as it looked like she lost Chris Statlander midway. But it was another damn fun, energetic match in a row. Ford shrugged off any and all preconceptions as the smartest and most strategic of the competitors. Baker and Statlander ignited what could be a fun secondary feud for the division. I could see that maybe going down at Double or Nothing as well. And Hikaru Shida continued her winning ways by essentially cashing her ticket to a showdown with Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's World Championship. Anytime all of that can be accomplished in the framework of a single bout is a success. So no question about it. So solid 3 stars, Shida and Rose. That's got potential to be a women's show stealer. I really do. So nothing more to say. Move on.
All right, so next up will probably be what I consider the fight of the night at the end. So what we had was it was a tag team fight. Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega, they went up against Santana and Ortiz. Hardy and Omega wins the match in 17 minutes and 30 seconds. Obviously, fight of the night honors for me. This was an excellent match, to say the very least. And this one deserves 4 to 4.25 stars, maybe even 4.5 if you want to push it that far. But this was absolutely amazing. The match was great flow, great story that was told, and Hardy was pretty good. Ortiz and Santana looked great, but Kenny Omega is he's just out of this freaking world, man. This guy is without a doubt the best wrestler in the world. And I'm sorry, I don't give a damn about what everybody says about, Jericho or another guy. When you got the Triple A Mega Copion, one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions, a guy who done Japan, America, Canada, England, anywhere in the world, now taking over Mexico with AAA. This guy is out of his mind, and every time he fights, it's always damn near 4.5 to damn near 5 stars. Kenny Omega right now, and he's not even trying. You know, his effort tonight was, I don't think he was even putting the pedal to the metal. If he really wanted to drop the hammer, it would be a 5-star. That's how good Omega is. So, I mean, he was the MVP of this fight for me. No questions about it. Florio, go.
100% agree. 4 to 4.25 stars. This was the fight of the night. After a weeks-long absence, it was nice to see Ortiz and Santana look as strong as they did against 2 of the most recognizable stars in the industry. Yes, Hardy and Omega have established their legacies in professional wrestling, but they were extremely giving here. And the result was the elevation of the Inner Circle tag team to their level. Like him or not, Omega in particular really worked overtime to elevate the stars of his opponents and should be commended. The run-in by Sammy Guevara late probably was not necessary, but the neck brace and limp had me like, okay, I don't know why he's out there, but it is what it is. As did his sell job with a twist of fate. But the outcome was the right one, given Hardy and Omega's placement on the card and the fact that they figured to play a key role on the Double or Nothing lineup. But the opposition lost nothing in defeat. That is the sign of a great and effective bout. So there's no doubt about this one, MF. You're absolutely right. This was 4 to 4.25 stars, hands down the fight of the night on this show tonight. So Michael Bullock won a match, 4 to 4.25, fight of the night right here.
Well, first off, Fletch, can I put you on the record of what you just said, that Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world?
I don't even think there's a goddamn debate about it. And if
Oh
anybody
no.
wants to debate
Oh,
me about it,
I'm
you're
just
more
putting
than
you.
welcome to. No, I'm just
Well,
saying it as a general. I'm just saying that in general. If anybody wants to debate me about Omega not being the best ever right now, go ahead, come at me. So
well,
no, I got no arguments.
I'm gonna. Well, I'm not gonna be the one to argue with you, but I'm just gonna put you on the record for it anyway. All right. So, getting back to this, I agree. Fight of the night, 4 to 4.25 stars. I mean, this was a tremendous match. I mean, Kenny Omega. I mean, I agree with Fletch. Even when he's off, he still looks looks amazing. I mean, you can see why. And and you just saw why he is the best wrestler in the world. I agree with Fletch on this one. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Let's just move right along, Fletch.
Unfortunately, I had to toss a couple of fights out because they were absolutely stupid. But AEW made a couple of I'll openly admit they made a couple of missteps here, guys. First off, if this ever works, we had, let's see, MJF. He went 1-on-1, and I believe he fought. Okay, hold on. Sorry about this, guys. This is actually he fought Lee Johnson, wins the match in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So I'm not even going to waste your time, Florio. I'm not even going to waste your time, Bullock. This was what you expected, a traditional squash, even though Johnson maybe had a little offense, but come on. It's MJF, and, he puts himself over again. Then you had Sammy Guevara, then you had Chris Jericho versus Pineapple Pete. Really? Jericho wins the fight in roughly a minute. Then Chris Jericho, you son of a bitch. I can't believe you did this. He takes a baseball bat. Vanguard 1 was flying around with the inner circle shirt. He destroys Vanguard 1. I mean, okay. Do you know what you have just done, Chris Jericho? You think it's one thing to you really want to piss off Matt Hardy that bad? You really, really, really wanted to do it. I'll tell you right now what you just did. You just woke in the broken one. Damascus is coming for you now. Damascus is going to take you to the lake of reincarnation, and he's going to drown you in it. You, my friend, you just written your dumbass into the death note because you will now be deleted from all existence for this, Jericho. Florio, go.
Yeah, he went there and then some. Absolutely. Yeah, let me see. You threw me off here. I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but okay.
I just wanted to talk about Vanguard 1 just getting destroyed. And what the hell Matt Hardy's going to do about it now?
The Vanguard 1 stuff was a bit silly, but it served its purpose here. Its demise sure to awaken something in Matt Hardy that makes him an even more dangerous force next week when he squares off with Sammy Guevara. Now, there is something that needs to be addressed here. Stadium Stampede match? What is that about? I mean, it figures to be one of the wildest, craziest, and most creative matches in professional wrestling if last week's street fight is any indication. The unique setting, the months-long rivalry, and the immensely talented individuals involved should make for one of the most unforgettable contests in the year-long history of AEW. I mean, this is going to be right up there with the match that I still feel is the best match in well, one of the best matches in AEW. I mean, it's a two-horse race. The John Moxley Kenny Omega non-sanctioned match at the Full Gear last November, and the other, of course, being that 5-star tag team thriller with the Young Bucks and Omega and Page. So those are the two best matches in AEW history. If this Stadium Stampede is any indication, oh boy. So that's really all there is to say. I mean, Jericho wanted to go there. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was a big hit on ridiculousness last night. If you didn't see it, if you didn't see Le Champion hanging with Chanel West Coast and Steel Over Him and Rob Dyrdek, I mean, I saw the show and it was very funny. It was a lot of fun. Go out of your way to see it the next time it's on the air. But for right now, he went from making Chanel West Coast, do her infamous laugh that I love so much, to, well, you may have made Chanel West Coast laugh, but you didn't make Matt Hardy laugh. Matt Hardy's going to be out for vengeance. So I got a feeling we're gonna see a side of Matt Hardy that we may have never seen before, and we'll see that next week against Guevara on the Go Home show for Double or Nothing, and then the Stadium Stampede match. That's when he takes it to the real next level. Get ready, Michael Bullock. I mean, Vanguard 1 destroyed. Matt Hardy's going to be out for blood, and get ready for that Stadium Stampede. It's going to be something else.
Man, I can't wait to see what happens with that Stadium Stampede match. I mean, that's going to be crazy. I mean, they'll probably go all throughout the stadium, and yeah, Jericho made the biggest mistake of his life when he destroyed Vanguard 1, and you saw the look on Matt Hardy's eye. I mean, he was literally out for blood. And let's just say Chris Jericho and Inner Circle, you especially Chris Jericho, after what you pulled tonight, let's just say you're about to be deleted, you obsolete mule. Yes. Delete. That's what's going to happen to you, Jericho. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, and then we had one more fight that was left on the fight card, as it was the uncrowned AEW World Champion Brody Lee went up against the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. Brody Lee wins the match in about 12 minutes. Anthony Florio, you lead off on the main event.
2.5 to 3 on this one. The late match brawl would have, under most circumstances, hampered things, but it made sense given the moving pieces involved and seemingly sets up another pay-per-view match if AEW so desires. Lee winning made sense, but Daniels was fairly protected here, almost to the point that one must question if the number one contender for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship should not have won more convincingly. Still, the post-match stuff with Moxley was excellent, as was his promo. He is mad, he is ready to unleash hell, and that is a very bad thing for the Dark Order. Whether Lee can use his emotions against him and shock the world by winning the title a week from Saturday is the real question. So that's all I can say on that. So I'm going to give it 2.5 to 3 for the effort. So Michael Bullock, here we go. Here's another war. I mean, did you really think Moxley was going to let that slide? Not on your life.
No chance in hell. You know Moxley wasn't going to let that slide. 2.5 to 3, I agree with you. I think, to me, it would have made more sense to have Brody Lee win more convincingly. I mean, to give him some momentum going to that AEW World Title match against John Moxley at Double or Nothing. So, yeah, you knew John Moxley was going to be out for blood. Well, Brody Lee made sure that the members of the Dark Order, because they were the ones who were the sacrificial lambs when it came to this. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So with that being said, Fletch, let's get the final thoughts.
All right, and actually, Michael Bullock, you get to lead off on those final thoughts for AEW.
All right. I mean, I thought it was an all right show. I mean, you did. I mean, I didn't like those two matches that were pretty much, as you would say, Fletch, blah. Uh, but I mean, the highlight for me was obviously that tag team match with Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy um, against Santana and Ortiz. I mean, you had some okay matches as well. So I thought it was an all right show. I mean, they could have done a little better with it, but I can't complain that much. So Fletch, I give it to you.
I disagree, Michael Bullock, because you started out so red hot, but then you sucked the life out of AEW. I'm sorry. The final 3 fights were straight shit. It was garbage. You had 2 fights that were absolute no necessary, not even worth our time. Pineapple Pete versus Chris Jericho and MJF versus Lee Johnson? Really? That's the best you're going to give us, AEW. Straight garbage is what that was. And then you gave us Brody Lee versus Christopher Daniels as your main event? That fight should have been earlier in the evening. You could have shuffled this stuff around. You really sucked the life out of me in the last 45 minutes. So much so, I didn't even give a shit about AEW. I didn't even watch it. I was on NXT for that remainder of 45. I'm not going to waste my time on garbage like that. So no, I'm sorry, Michael Bullock. I agree. Everything was fine. But the last 3 fights sucked. And I'm going to be very harsh about it because this is supposed to be revolutionary wrestling. This was supposed to be, the substitute. Yeah, substitute this. Take a middle finger and shove it up your asses. Anthony Florio, go.
Damn, Fletch. Tell us how you really feel. Woo.
Okay. Anyways, well, that was basically MF doing the plane bit, almost going crazy. Anyways, let me see. Next week, we're going to see Ray Phoenix go up against Orange Cassidy, MJF against Marco Stunt, an interview segment with Arn Anderson and Jake the Snake Roberts. That's going to be old school fun. I can't wait to see that. Matt Hardy against Sammy Guevara, and then John Moxley will be in action as well. Now, Stadium Stampede, Elite versus Inner Circle, Baker versus Statlander, Private Party versus Best Friends, number 1 contenders match, Sheeta versus Rose, no DQ and no countout now have been added to the pay-per-view. And it's also been announced that Iron Mike Tyson is going to present the TNT Championship belt to the winner at Double or Nothing. So, hey, hell, ho, ho. Get ready, May 23rd. That's all I can say on that. Get ready. Great way to kickstart your Memorial Day weekend. But anyways, this week's show, like MF said, it started really good and energetic and very entertaining. That played off of last week well. But the thing was, MF is absolutely right. The last few bouts, I could have done without, honestly. They were beyond unnecessary. They overstayed their welcome, in all honesty. And the earlier stuff made this show peak properly ahead of the pay-per-view. That was simple, effective, and well executed. But the other stuff, I agree, absolute garbage. I couldn't agree with MF more. So I'm right there with him. So those were all snoozers. Thanks for the catnap. Appreciate it. Bullock, wrap it up, and then we'll get into your show.
I already did.
Bullock was the one that started it, so we're gonna go right into it.
Here's the thing. I mean, I'm not saying it was a great show. I was just saying it was an okay show. I'm not
No,
I'm
and
not saying
we're not attacking you, Bullock. And that's the thing. If you're thinking we're attacking you, we're not. We're not attacking your opinion. We're not attacking that at all. I'm just saying from my vantage point as a wrestling fan, that's where I'm coming from. No, this got
yeah,
nothing to do with anything that you said. You know, that's the thing.
yeah,
Let's be real here. We're not attacking you we're not attacking you, period. And I get where you're coming from. You're saying it was an okay show. And I think you're agreeing with us on the thing, but I'm a little more harsher on AEW because of the fact of what they bring to the table. That's why I'm coming after them. I'm
and
not
that and
coming
that's
after them for anything else. I'm just coming after them because of all the hype that they bring each and every week and everything I hear from the IWC fans. That's where I'm drawing the line.
and I respect that opinion. And you and here's the thing. I mean, I know Derek Ferrer is probably going to be like,
Oh,
oh, don't be
he's probably gonna flip out right now. He's probably flipping out, saying, "Yo, that's a little bit of a harsh assessment. Don't you think you're being a little harsh?" Hell, freaking no! I'm not gonna be harsh about it. You got a problem with that? Take it up with me, Ferrera. I don't give two shits. You know me.
or as in the immoral words of D Generation X, they would say, suck it.
Yeah. But the thing is that we're always critical on WWE. And what? You think we're going to give you a pass on AEW if you give us a questionable show? Absolutely not. You give us crap, we're gonna toss crap at you. That's how what we are in the wrestling form. We do not discriminate one way or another on criticizing a show if we don't think it's deserving of the right.
We don't hold back.
We don't hold back.
We do not hold back.
No.
You punch us
We
in the
certainly
mouth,
don't.
we're gonna punch you
certainly
right
don't.
back harder.
Yeah.
We certainly don't. We don't take no
Until we draw
BS.
blood. We're out for blood, man.
So, and I get it. Some people's gonna get offended by it. Oh well, sorry. You know, that's your problem.
Wah. Cry me a damn river.
So here we go. All right, guys. Now that AEW's in the rearview mirror, now we go into NXT. We started it off with a tag team title fight, as it was the champions, Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher, and they went up against Matthew Barzell and Fabian Eichner of Imperium. And I don't have a time here. However, the winners of the bout and new NXT Tag Team Champions, Fabian Eichner, Matthew Barzell, it's Imperium. They win the championships. My goodness, whoever would have thought? I don't even think I saw that coming. This was kind of a minor upset, but then the Bro and Thatcher, they threw down. There's a little bit of there was an implosion right before our very eyes, and that's what led to the title change. Ladies and gentlemen, history was made at Full Sail University. New tag team champions. I gotta give this 3 stars. Just for the fact that the crowning of the new champions, just for the fact that we didn't see this coming. None of us saw this coming. But man, Eichner and Barzell, they did it. They've won it. They're the new champions. And what on earth is gonna happen now? I mean, Imperium just added more gold to their stable. Think about this. Walter, United Kingdom champion, Fabian Eichner and Barzell, now NXT US, United States tag team champions on NXT. Boys, Imperium's taking over, boys, and they're taking it across both ponds, both parts of the world, man. They're dominating the UK. Now they're taking over the US. Somebody better stop these boys, or else we're gonna be in big trouble. Anthony Florio, it's yours. What a way to kick it off. Title change.
History made there, Monsoon. I mean, You know how much I love it when you say that, man. I mean, I love it. I agree, 3 stars. We have only seen Timothy Thatcher in a few matches on NXT, but he is already showing why he belongs in this spot right away. He is technically sound and a great brawler. Matt Riddle looked good here, even in defeat. Eichner and Bartel winning these belts before the UK tag titles is a good sign that Imperium could be sticking around on the main NXT brand. This was a solid match to get the show going, and the feud between Riddle and Thatcher that follows should be a lot of fun. So that's all I can say on that. 3 stars. Michael Bullock, history has been made. New NXT champions, Imperium. They and Walter have the NXT UK title. Now we just need Alexander Wolf to get a belt, and then they can raise the whole undisputed era, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean they need those well, or they got it tonight. And hey, Florio, what did you give it? Yeah, 3 stars for me as well. I mean, this was definitely a solid way to start off this edition of NXT, and yeah, Timothy Thatcher really showed his true colors tonight and turned on Matt Riddle. So, and this is not the last of we're going to see of these two. We're going to talk more about it later on. So, 3 stars for me. Let's move right along.
All right, and with that said, we're just going to move right along. And then after the fact of the new title change, then we go on and we got Tegan Nox versus Indy Hartwell. Tegan Nox wins the match in 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Anthony, this was actually a good showcase fight for Tegan Nox. She really needed it. After with the rivalry that's going on with Dakota Kai and with Raquel Gonzalez, she really needed to do a pretty good showcase. I think NXT really showcased her very good here tonight.
They certainly did. 1.5 to 2 stars. That is the correct rating for this. Not to be obvious here, but Indy Hartwell was very impressive in her NXT debut match. She looked quick, strong, and kept up with Knox the entire time. Both women showed off their agility in a match that could have kept going for several more minutes and not lost its charm. Leaving us wanting more is better than overstaying one's welcome. A lot of NXT talents are getting more exposure due to the current circumstances, and Indy Hartwell made the most of her opportunity, her first appearance since getting the snot beat out of her by Shayna Baszler a number of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. So, but she looked good though. That's all I can say. So, and yes, Tegan Nox definitely a good showcase for her. She needed one after coming up short against her former bestie Dakota Kai. So that's all there is to say on that. So 1.5 to 2. That's the correct rating. Michael Bullock. Nice to see Indy Hartwell for the first time during one of our Raw chats where we saw Shayna Baszler, beat the holy what out of her. Great to see Indy Hartwell back.
Yeah, it was definitely good to see her back. I agree. 1.5 to 2. I think this was a good showcase win for Tegan Nox. I mean, especially after everything she went through with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, and obviously they want to give her a fresh start, and I think this is a good way to do it. So, yeah, there's nothing more to say. I'm just going to give it to you, Fletch.
All right, and then after that, so from there we had the Supreme Athlete Tony Nese going up against Jake Atlas in Group A match of the NXT Interim Cruiserweight Championship Tournament. And it was Jake Atlas winning the match in 5 minutes and 1 second. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
Yeah, I'm going to give this about. I thought it was a good match. I'll give it about maybe 2 stars for the effort here. I mean, obviously, Jake Atlas, he needed a win and some help to move on, and he did his part. So, Tony Nese, of course, was already out of it. So no matter what happened, win or lose, he was already gone. So nice win for Jake Atlas. Puts him a little closer to the interim cruiserweight title. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, uh, Jake Atlas, I mean, gets a big win, and against Tony Nese, even though Tony Nese really had nothing to play for.
Yeah, Tony Nese was already mathematically eliminated. This just kind of was the nail in the coffin for him in the tournament. And Jake Atlas now 2-1. Very, very, very important for him because next week is going to be a very crucial fight. If the result goes a little differently, he might find himself in the fight for the title. So it's very important that next week it's going to come really, really close. Next week's going to be a very determining factor one way or another. So we'll see. But yeah, this was a very good. This was a solid fight. Nice little sprint, about 2.5, 2 3/4. Anthony, it's yours.
2.5, MF. You're right. Um, Jake Atlas is still new to NXT, but he has already established himself as a talent to watch in 2020. He has a unique style in the ring and a good personality. Tony Nese is one of the most underrated performers on the entire roster. It's a damn shame he was eliminated so quickly from the tournament. He always makes his opponents look good. And here's another match, along with the Hartwell and Knox bout, that could have benefited from a few more minutes, but it was still good. So 2.5 stars for me. Let's move on.
All right, and then the next thing that we had was we had a little vignette with Scarlett Bordeaux and Killian Cross. They were just talking. Then there was another vignette about Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. And then there was Isaiah Swerve Scott. Unfortunately, he was eliminated. Well, he'll be eliminated if he loses. And then, of course, a promo by Jack Gallagher. And then DX. Well, DX came out. Well, they didn't come out, but they cut in a promo. And boys, we got ourselves our next takeover event. It's going to be NXT TakeOver in your house. Yes, you heard me right. The infamous In Your House pay-per-views, well, it's making a return. Because, believe it or not, and I can't believe this, but it's been 25 years since the first ever In Your House, which was back, I believe it was in Albany, New York. Way back when?
Syracuse.
Oh, Syracuse.
It was in 1995.
In 1995, and it was in Syracuse, New York. And if I remember correctly, it was Diesel versus Psycho Sid the first time, not the Lumberjack, but the first time for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. And it was also punctuated by Matt Pompasilli winning a house. Yes, we all remember that moment. Anthony Florio knows that moment really well. We had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, did we ever?
So, it's going to happen on June 7th. And get ready, In Your House, NXT TakeOver. Then we had Finn Balor going one-on-one with Cameron Grimes. Balor wins the match. Actually, stand corrected. Cameron Grimes wins the match. 6 minutes and 19 seconds. Whoa! Upset? Yes. Cameron Grimes gets a huge win. And they did really well. I mean, this was one that I don't think a lot of people thought it was going to be any good. And it actually was better than I thought. Another solid fight. Overall rating for me, I could give this a solid, maybe I say about another 2.5, maybe close to 3. Well done. Good match. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
3 stars for me, MF. These two superstars were relatively even when it came to size and power. Balor had an agility advantage, but Grimes made up for it with aggression. Damian Priest going after Finn Balor is a good feud for both men. This could be a star-making feud for Damian Priest if he performs well. Yeah, solid match, no question about it. So there's really nothing more to say on this. 3 stars for me, and the biggest win of Cameron Grimes' NXT career. There's no question about that. So Michael Bullock, 2 men were made here. Cameron Grimes with the win, and Damian Priest going after Finn Balor. That's a star-making feud if all goes well for Damian Priest.
Yeah, that could be a really good feud if it's done well. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. 2.5 to 3 for me. I agree. I mean, definitely a big win for Cameron Grimes, even though he did get a little help from Damian Priest. So definitely the biggest win of Cameron Grimes' career. So yeah, there's nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
All right, so after that, we move right along to this show. And the next thing that we had, well, this is huge, guys. This was very, very, very important because if Isaiah Swerve Scott wins the match, he really puts himself in the driver's seat. Gentleman Jack Gallagher was kind of dead in the water. He had no wins and 2 losses. Isaiah Swerve Scott, if he won, it would be 2 wins with 1 loss, and possibly maybe looking in a position to fight for the title. But Gentleman Jack Gallagher ends Swerve Scott's dream of making the big fight. He knocks him out in 3 minutes and 34 seconds. And Gentleman Jack Gallagher just put a humongous monkey wrench into Isaiah Swerve Scott's dream of becoming the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, Anthony Florio. Oh my.
Wow. 2 stars, maybe 1 3/4 to 2. Having Tony Nese attack Isaiah Swerve Scott before the match was smart booking. It allowed Gallagher to get the win while not hurting Swerve with a clean loss. This was a short match designed to make Gallagher look tough. It worked, but he needs to do more to shake off the image people have of him from 205 Live. And speaking of 205 Live, I heard they actually started taping matches for that again, and I believe we should be back for action this week. And if that's the case, we'll have 205 Live reviews once again as part of my Tony's Take, possibly starting this Monday night on Ridiculously Raw. So be ready for that. So 1 3/4 to 2 stars. It's a shame that Swerve Scott was out. He was one of my favorites to win this thing, but I would probably have to say it could be maybe Kushida and Tozawa, possibly down, or maybe maybe Drake Maverick. You never know. So we'll have to wait and see. So 1 3/4 to 2. Michael Bullock. Wow, what a stunning turn of events here.
Yeah, definitely a stunning turn of events as Isaiah Swerve Scott is now out of the interim cruiserweight title picture, thanks to the loss to Jack Gallagher. So 1.5 to 2 for me. And yeah, I mean, I think you guys pretty much touched on everything. So let's move right along, Fletch.
Gentlemen, I want to bring your attention to something because I think it needs to be addressed here. So I'm going to screenshot this, and this is actually from our boys at Wikipedia. So I want to appreciate and show them the love here on this. And I want you to feast your eyes on this lineup because I'm going to share it right now. So here we are. Am I sharing? Or am I not? Hold on.
I don't see anything yet.
All
Not yet.
right. All right. Here you go, guys. I want you to look at this. So this is the updated scoring as it stands right now. Kushida has to fight Drake Maverick, and Akira Tozawa and El Hijo del Fantasma fight next week. Now, Kushida will clinch if he beats Drake Maverick. If Drake Maverick wins, then it's 2-1 to 2-1. I think Drake would go over via the head to head.
He would.
He would go over via the head to head. Akira Tozawa and El Hijo de Fantasma, this is basically the fight to determine who goes to the final. Basically, with Isaiah Swerve Scott out, with Gentleman Jack Gallagher out, basically, the winner of this fight next week will automatically advance to the final to fight for the interim cruiserweight title.
We basically have two. We
got two elimination fights. Yeah.
The winners of both matches next week go on to the title match.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
That's awesome. I love
How
it.
awesome is that?
I can't wait to see it.
Bullock, you got something to say? I guess not. All right. So there you go, guys. So that's your breakdown. That's what the bracket looks like. And now we're just going to move right along. As we next up had was Caden Carter versus Aaliyah. Caden Carter wins the match in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. We're just going to let that settle. And then our main event, Matt Riddle versus Timothy Thatcher. That was a match that was made earlier in the night. And Matt Riddle wins the match in 8 minutes and 48 seconds. Who leads off on this?
I think Florio does.
All right, so Anthony, it's all yours. Let's talk about the main event.
Another 3-star match for me. Riddle and Thatcher already have great chemistry as opponents, and a lot of that likely comes from the similarities in their chosen styles. Both men like to use strikes, holds, and suplexes to hurt their opponents. Everything they did looked good and sounded brutal without fans to drown out the sound of their hits. This is a feud that WWE can get a few more matches out of over the next few weeks, possibly culminating in a gimmick bout at TakeOver in Your House. So that's all I can say on this. 3 stars. I could probably call this the default fight of the night, if I'm going to be honest with you. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts on former partners, now bitter enemies?
Yeah, 3 stars for me. Yeah, I mean, this was a good match here. I mean, Matt Riddle basically getting the win here, but as you saw at the end, Timothy Thatcher wasn't done. I mean, he basically beat the snot out of Matt Riddle, and basically he was like literally trying to rip the arm off of him. So, like I said, he showed his true colors, and boy, howdy, he showed it in a big way. And you know something's gonna go down at TakeOver in Your House. So, nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This was a solid show. This was a solid main event. 3 stars. Matt Riddle wins the match. Right booking here. And you got yourself a nice rivalry going on, guys. So you got really nothing more to add. Mike Bullock, final thoughts on NXT?
Well, I thought this was another. I thought it was a good show here. I mean, to me, definitely better than NXT. I mean, better than AEW tonight. I mean, you had a couple of big shockers, obviously, with Cameron Grimes beating Finn Balor. You got new NXT Tag Team Champions. And obviously, we finally found out that it was Damian Priest who was the attacker. So, yeah, so definitely something going with the interim NXT Cruiserweight title. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what goes down next week with that. So, nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours. NXT, as far as I'm concerned, won this week.
Yeah, there was only one bad fight on NXT this week, so I mean, you really had some solid shows, some solid booking. Some of the vignettes and everything else was solid and good. So yeah, no, NXT really did well this week. They told a better in-ring story than AEW did. And, even though AEW's got the better talent and I think they got a lot more better, work overall, but NXT just is just still that underdog type company that we know and love, and they just brought it to the table. So I thought they did better. So I got really nothing else to add. So Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
Yep. The streak of very strong shows continues as NXT really is settling into being a show that adds some surprise and just the right helping of sports entertainment to its wrestling. The quote-unquote major announcement, while minor, is an intriguing development given that we don't have a lot of obvious matches yet for a takeover with only 3 more episodes of NXT television to go beforehand. Imperium is an excellent tag team, and I'll be thrilled to see them all have the belts. It's hard to say, though, who stands in line to face them unless we go heel. Cruiserweight Championship tournament continued to take shape as now 3 men are completely out, and both will be solved next week, barring a 3-way tie that I'm not anticipating. Cameron Grimes picked up a big win as Finn Balor found his next feud. Meanwhile, 2 of the hottest acts on the show, Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, they got nowhere near the ring. It was a very good show, other than the hugely unwelcome addition of the Zoom camera during beatdowns and stomps. It would be one thing if it didn't add anything, but it frankly detracts from the action because it feels so contrived and manipulative. But other than that, very good show this evening. So those two huge semifinal cruiserweight tournament matches next week. And in addition to that, we're also going to have Rhea Ripley against Io Shirai as well.
Yeah.
So we got 3 big main events. Hopefully these 3 main events deliver, unlike the last set of main events. Nothing more to say. MF set the table for Friday Night SmackDown, including that big bomb that I dropped on you all late last night.
Oh, yeah. SmackDown just got very interesting. If you haven't heard, last night on that was on WWE Backstage, news broke out that Sami Zayn is no longer the Intercontinental Champion. That's right, boys. Vacant has captured the belt and has taken it under siege. Vacant, you evil, evil man. You've done this to us 13 times with the Intercontinental title, and you've done it again, you fiend. Well, we need to decide how we're going to do this. A tournament to determine the next Intercontinental Champion, and we'll wait and see what happens. Plus, for the first time in a while, the Queen, Charlotte Flair, graces the home of the Land of Opportunity. What does the NXT Women's Champion have in store for the Blue brand? Like I said on Monday, we will roll out the red carpet, well, the blue carpet, for the Queen. We are not worthy, my dear. Plus, Otis, what's going to happen with him now that he's Mr. Money in the Bank?
Miz TV.
Miz TV, he'll be on Miz TV, and we're going to get to see that. And of course, and then the fallout from Money in the Bank, as Braun Strowman successfully defended the Universal title, beating Bray Wyatt. What happens next for the Monster Among Men? We'll find out. It'll all go down 10 p.m. Eastern on this very network. So, thank you, Anthony Florio. Thank you, Michael Bullock. Thank you, everybody. You know the routine. Like the video. Share it with all your friends on social media. Comment at the bottom what you like or what you didn't like. And for all of us here, so long, everybody.